I talk about Maggie. We always knew Maggie was going to be born in the winter. What we didn't know was that she was going to ruin Christmas. We have to take our chicken slippers and go to the hospital with her. The hospital's no place for a child on Christmas. So Audrey and I thought, who could this be? Who could do this to us? It's Christmas.
When I think of Maggie, I think of her as a baby, and she had this really fuzzy hair that would kind of like static up. It would just kind of permanently be staticky. It's like this super cute little baby genius with a fuzzy head.
Maggie was probably the most polite child of our family. Whether or not she needed to, she would say please and thank you after pretty much every sentence, which got her oohs and ahs and oh my gosh, she's so cute from anyone we passed by.
Maggie was always a very creative girl. She was drawn to the arts. She was interested in acting, singing, dancing. She was a writer from the get-go.
Maggie is one of the funniest people on earth.
Of the three Fisher sisters, Maggie is definitely my favorite.
I remember her.
Theater.
Short.
Library.
Writer.
Bookworm.
Humorous. Not my least favorite. Funny. In a quirk. You know what? Quirky.
Cheesy.
I'm gonna say quirky.
Cheesy. Songwriter. Lyricist.
That's good.
That's
stand up for people when you're
courageous.
No, there was no courage involved. It was more just like a defender of the innocent.
I remember her doing a lot of chalk drawing. Maybe someday she'll be a sidewalk chalk artist. What more could a parent want for their child?
Well, maybe an astronaut or a brain surgeon, but chalk art's good.
Walking down the street,
No.
now you're right behind
But like an
me.
ominous
Now,
tone.
an original Maggot Fisher song. If she had released "I'm Walking Down the Street, Now You're Right Behind Me" now today, baby Maggie was singing that song for a reason that we didn't really pick up on.
Yeah.
Just of all the teasing.
Yeah.
Who was walking behind her so closely?
It wasn't me.
I wonder if it was Kam. Creep.
Yeah, Maggie's really always been the creative one in our family. She used to make these stop motion films, and she'd go out and draw a bunch of chalk in the driveway, and she'd change costumes and do all this cool stuff, and she was the cutest kid, and she really never stopped being cute.
I was always jealous of Maggie. She was always part of the it crowd. You know, originally Anchor Man was a biopic called Anchor Woman, starring Maggie Fisher.
The author of her favorite book asked for her signature. When she needs a ride, she ends up getting a new car. Cats have calendars of her. She is the most interesting anchor in the world.
But she backed out of the role. Studio changed directions. Decided to make a comedy with that goof Will Ferrell. Serves her right.
I was in Costco the other day, and I happened to run across her new book. I just realized that on the cover of the book, she prominently featured a blonde, and that a lot of her other books also prominently featured blondes. And so it occurred to me, like, is this just a coincidence, or, is Maggie just obsessed with Kam?
Moose has been a model for quite a while. He has been the cover of many of Maggie's books. He's been featured in newspapers. You can find him in Costco, All Eyes on Dogs. He loves to be the center of attention. He loves people looking at him, liking his posts. And we really have Maggie to thank for that, for really putting him on the map.
Yeah, so looking on Maggie's Amazon author page, I noticed there are quite a few dog celebrities there. I've been telling Tony that He needs to send some of the shots that we've taken of Maple so that she can get into the business. Right, sweetie? Smile for the camera.
Moose and Maggie really have a special bond. They're the babies of the family. They, they really know what they want and they go after it. They're both a little derpy. They love to smile. They love to sleep. They love to have treats. Shout out to Cheetos and carrots.
Maggie's just always been the cool one, right? Like, she's got that cool ombre hair. Like, no one else in our family can pull that off. We just don't have the swagger.
I feel like I have a lot in common with Maggie. I mean, she played tennis in high school. I played tennis in high school. She likes San Diego beers. I like San Diego beers. She writes books. I've read a book.
Maggie's kind of struggled with commitment. For instance, she couldn't make up her mind what kind of career she wanted to have. She tried farmer, painter, hairstylist, restaurateur, fishing guide. She even considered a vocation in the church.
She fell in with a tough crowd for a bit. I mean, when we went to Disneyland, she wanted a picture with Captain Hook. Do you know how hard that is for a father? I mean, Ariel? No. Snow White? No. Tigger? No. Hook. It seemed she was drawn to shady characters.
I remember when Maggie was in mock trial. She seemed to love it. She was so happy all the time. She's never happy all the time. Her friends were talking about some guy, and they were using descriptions like Ryan Gosling, Golden Retriever. Who was this guy who made Maggie so happy?
He is this skinny little California boy. Yeah. Found out later it's Morgan. Kam. Wow.
Man. Kam. Man. What a man.
Yeah, definitely male.
Yeah.
Like, serial killer tendencies in his face.
Something about the eyes,
Yeah.
He's just, athlete is what comes to mind after
Definitely.
that.
He was intense because he wanted to always out-logic everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Very logical thinker. And we saw that really come to fruition in mock trial when he could make the witnesses sweat.
Yeah.
I have so many memories of my brother growing up. He would suck his cereal every day, every morning. He'd be at the dining table sucking away at Cheerios or cornflakes or Raisin Bran, something, I don't know, but he'd just fall asleep on the dining table. And then he would wake up and be covered in milk and Cheerios or honey, maybe, whatever he used to put on it.
Who even is Kam? I mean, what do we really know about the guy? I feel like he's too good to be true. I mean, have you heard him do an Australian accent? It is spot on. And that he's not good enough of an actor to pull that off. So I'm thinking, maybe that's where he's from. And what do we know about Australia? Home of convicts and killer animals. So Maggie, you gotta ask yourself, which one is he? Nobody that I know is that funny or charismatic or athletic or musically talented or just looks in your eyes and just gets you. I don't know. Is whatever. Maybe it'll be fine.
Oh shoot, okay. Black dress with the tights underneath. I got the breath of a last cigarette on my teeth.
then I go off to college, enjoyed my college years, and then I come home and there's this girl. This girl is here, and I'm very skeptical. Like, he is my brother. He sucks his food at our dining room table with me.
Funny story. Kam and Maggie and I went for a hike on the sand dunes on the southern Oregon coast a couple years ago. It's tough walking, so we got pretty tired. I remember Maggie getting all upset just because we couldn't find the trailhead, but we survived after, well, maybe an hour or so, but mostly because we were able to take a taxi to the trailhead. Never done that before, or since.
Yeah, I remember visiting Maggie and Kam in San Diego. We went bowling with them, and I just thought, God, Maggie's an incredible bowler. Like, I get that she's actually in Kam's bowling league, but she's definitely out of his league.
Some of my favorite memories with Kam are the ones where we worked together to surprise Maggie. One of the first surprises happened when she was at school. I was in Seattle, and obviously Kam was... Where was Kam? Kam was in another location. Well, I knew Kam was coming to her room at a certain time. I remember there was a knock on the door, and she was like, who could that be? What? Who? What? And I said, Mag, just, go answer, it's okay, like, I'll stay on the phone. And I remember she opened the door and completely forgot about me for a full minute because she was so happy to see Kam.
And I just have this very special memory of observing Cameron with this little girl playing, normally like at church functions or in preschool. He was always hanging out with little boys. How she like bossed him around a little bit, just kind of, come on, Cameron, we're gonna go here, now we're gonna go here, and but there was a connection. They seemed to have such a cute little connection. And then at one point, I remember she made him cry. She drew a little picture of him as an alien, I guess, and he didn't like that so much. And I think he came home or something and said that Maggie made him cry that day. And so then the next year, there was no Maggie. So sad. It was I guess we're not going to get married now. I guess this plan that I had in my mind of this cute little couple wasn't going to happen.
And I actually thought, whoo, dodge that bullet.
I remember when they were in high school, they were practicing for a duet they were going to do. Kam had his ukulele and Maggie was singing. They were just so in sync, and you could really tell they loved each other. And that was a long time ago. Yeah, Maggie and Kam were pretty perfect together.
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, reading rainbow. I can go anywhere. Friends to know, ways to grow, reading rainbow.
And it was about damn time.
Oh.
I remember the night that Kam called us to ask for our blessing. He called us and asked to take us to dinner. Naturally, we assumed it was a vacation timeshare pitch, but we went anyway. When Kam's intentions became clear, Karen looks over at me and says, no, right? Kam was so excited, though, that I don't think he heard the word no.
It's been kind of awkward since then. We don't have the heart to hurt his feelings.
He had this whole elaborate plan that he wanted to fly up here, go to talk to Maggie's parents. There was a lot of details to work out. How is he going to get picked up? Where was he going to stay? I remember being in the Sportsman Warehouse when we were talking about it. Darcy would be too inquisitive and ask way too many questions because that's her
what
MO.
I do.
She's going to want to know all the details. It was a wonderful surprise. It was a great
and the little hurt finger showing the ring was we caught on pretty quick. Right.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
I need a moment. Such a beautiful heart. She's good for him. She's very good for him.
Like in any relationship, Maggie and Kam have had their ups and downs. My cousin's wedding, Kam forgot who his fiance was. He went off and stood by Slaine. It was very awkward.
Yeah, I saw that.
So we're all just like standing there, you know, we're getting ready to take the family picture at Audrey and Cedric's wedding, and Kam and I aren't really sure, are we going to be in the picture, are we not, you know, we're just the fiancés, so we're just kind of standing off to the side, and all of a sudden the photographer's like, fiancés over here, and you know, Kam and I look at each other, and I just followed his lead.
They were a bit too chummy walking over to stand next to each other as fiancés, and yeah, it hurt. I didn't have anyone to stand next to. I don't even remember who I was standing next to. It might have been Tony. And that guy can't take a picture.
Maggie just like glared at me with these "I'll cut you" eyes, and I mean, I was just standing there, and you know, Kam and I just followed the photographer's instructions.
Camera photographer guy was like, hey, we made a mistake. I thought you two were together. They laughed, but they smiled at each other and lingered just too long for my taste. I don't know. Makes me question what I'm getting into. Definitely what Maggie's getting into.
I'm just genuinely concerned. I love them together, but maybe Cam's not ready for marriage.
I don't know. Faithfulness has always been big in our family, and I didn't see it that day.
This is off the record, but from pictures we've seen, Maggie may have been a bride a few times before. This is the first time we get to walk her down the aisle, but I'm definitely getting some deja vu.
I did hear a rumor, but she's my baby, and I don't believe it.
I mean, I'm really excited for Maggie and Kam, but I wonder if he knows about her history. I mean, I've seen her in a white dress before, and she had this whole holier-than-thou thing going on.
She's definitely been a bride before. Don't tell my parents.
Well, we actually think they got married sometime in high school, actually. We think that they kept calling it prom, we're going to dance, but you know, the dress and I think one of their outfits, yeah, we think they actually got married. They told us we're waiting, but yeah, we actually think they got married.
But we'll keep up this charade because it's fun.
I didn't hear action. I don't
Action.
know when
Action.
it's supposed to start.
Action.
Who's directing this?
Line.
Maggie, aka Magnadoodle, aka Mag Giblets. I'm not gonna say that.
Higher. Lower. Turn it. No, not that much. No, the other way.
You're not even looking at me. Ooh.
Maggie's the Maggie.
I broke. Totally broke character.
Can't retrieve water bottles because he doesn't have opposable thumbs. He needs opposable thumbs to do that.
Kam is a marshmallow. I feel like I'm playing Meryl Streep, playing an actor.
Oh, I have a story about Maggie and Kam. I have a story about Maggie and Kam.
It doesn't paint us in a good light. No.
No, turn it again. Oh, that's better.
I'll be glad when somebody else has to hold the reflector.
Whoa, whoa, ha, ha, ha. She wants to love me, whoa. She wants to love me, whoa. She'll never leave me, whoa, whoa.
I'm a nervous giggler.